Right, Shalom. First and foremost, we'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem
Bashem
Yahushua,
Yahushai.
Bahashem Rakah Kodash, that will honors unto the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, who do teach and rule well. Peace and blessing to the sincere elect by generally four corners of the earth. This is Brother Corner and the Brother Ed, right?
Khan.
Come to do a video based on edification on the five families that control the world,
Khan.
which are which are Esau, the devil, you know.
Khan.
Go ahead.
Yeah, it's basically these white folks, these white devil. I mean, these red devils. They're not even white. They're red like a lobster.
Done,
And they control everything. They even try to take out everybody's heritage, like Israelites. Because we
done,
we call ourselves Africans. We call ourselves all these other nations, but we were not coming back to our true heritage, which is Israelites, and they took that from us too.
done, done.
So, you want me to go ahead and start reading, Doc?
Yeah,
Alright, so this is an article that Brother Quinah found through the Spirit Yahweh Yahushai. It's called Five Families That Control the World. Alright, so I'll read some of the introduction they have here, and you can cut me
done.
off when you're ready to say something.
Yeah, you go to work.
Alright, it says, in the name of progress, human civilization during its period of renaissance began to orient its political and economic philosophies toward the establishment of financial and commercial entities. Since then, since then, these entities have now morphed into the most powerful corporations on the face of the earth.
Huh.
But behind the
Hey,
large corporations and beyond the complicated framework of politics and business, there lies, according to some people, a hidden dominating force that controls the world's political, economic, and military systems. And at the helm of the unnoticeable economic power, there are allegedly five influential families that constructed the current world as we know it according to the design and continues to dictate its ways without the notice of the common man.
can. And if I may say, right, the
Kanak.
Renaissance, right? The Renaissance is the rebirth of the so-called white man kingdom, right? And guess what? The white man, when they go into the history of the Renaissance period, you go read about a man called Bolan, right? And he was it just wasn't the Renaissance right away. It was Jake and a so-called Esau, Jake and an Esau, Jake and an Esau until right the Borgia family, the crime boss, the Italian family came into power. And
Kan.
when you read right in the article right here, right, it goes on to say their lies according to some people and Salakia a hidden denominating force that controls the world. How
Kan.
did the Borgias gain get their power? By lies, usually murder, robbery,
Kanak.
mafia, you know. So this is how the so-called white man kingdom is developed by
Kan.
bloodshed. And if I can bring a quick precept they are.
Kan. I had one for you too.
Yeah, you go to go
All right.
first.
This is I don't know if you're bringing this out. This is Job 9:24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he?
Come. What expound on that?
Con. So basically, it's saying here that the five families control the world, and the five families that we're gonna go over is basically devils. It's basically Esau. You don't see any Jakes in these families, so they control the world as we know it. Because me and his brother was talking earlier, and we was saying that people believe that a hell exists, but we're in hell right now
Come.
because they control everything. They control tax. They control the money. They have the gold supply. This money's not even real money. It's just paper dollar because really and truly money back then was trade. If you want berries, you get somebody an apple and they'll give you berries. But as
Come.
time went on, we had gold, we have there's silver, there's bronze, there's gold, right? We have those valuables, and then we have paper dollar, which is IOU notes. It's not even real. It's not even real value.
Come.
You know.
Come. Um, this is the precept I wanted to bring up for you, right?
Con,
Because as you were talking about, as you're reading the introduction, right?
con,
This is Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 12. He say, woe to him that buildeth a town with blood and establish a city by iniquity.
con,
How does so-called white man establish this earth? All right, from the Renaissance period. All right, by murder, robbery, slavery. He put the China Asian into slavery, all right,
Khan,
and
that's
so
right.
forth.
And he
Where
took a lot of these lands by force, especially America. America's not even his. And Donald Trump, he's trying to get rid of all the Mexicans when they was there first. First of
Khan,
all, the Vikings were technically discovered America before any of these nations, you know.
Khan,
But guess what? The Native Americans were living peaceably, and the white man they took their land,
Khan,
and and basically America was basically built off the backs of slaves,
Khan.
you
Huh?
know.
Hey, if the land America could speak, the first thing that came out America mouth was the blood of the slaves, the Hebrew Israelites.
Khan,
You know, because hey, they slaughtered a lot of our people. All right, these devils slaughtered a lot of our people.
Khan. That's all they're about. They're about blood, and Yahweh said, "Since you love blood, blood shall pursue thee, because you
Khan,
reap what you sow." They reap what they reap bloodshed, they reap destruction. So that's what they're going to sow, and that's what's
Khan,
coming for them. So you want me to go
Khan,
ahead and read the first family?
Kanak,
All right. So
Baba,
we're currently on number five, the Rothschild family. If you want to explain, you're free to.
Khan.
Um, you see this red devil right here? It looks ugly too.
Yeah, you see that nigga? Ah, that man.
Yeah,
I'm like, shit.
Khan. All right, it says the story of the Rothschild family is one of money, and its beginning can be traced back to the 18th century to the rise of the financial genius that was Meyer Amschel Rothschild. From an apprentice at a small bank in Hamburg, and by the way, Hamburg is how hamburgers were named. Hamburg is not just ham, but they was originated in Hamburg, which is why they're hamburgers. Just a quick fact.
Khan,
Um, Mayor
that part.
Mayor Rothschild rose to become a prominent figure in the international transactions and manipulation of money. Eventually, he installed each of his five sons to be his agents in the five major financial centers of Europe, and their sons were also sent to other financial centers to head new offices. And it was saying this in the works recently. I'm sure y'all brothers be saying it too, Quina, that
Khan,
Europe controls the money, right? Washington D.C. they control the military, and the Vatican controls the religion. So those are the three major powers in the world. They control
Khan,
everything.
Khan. And if I may add one more to what you just say,
Con,
right? Look at all the central banks, all right? Who own it? The Rockefeller own it. The Rothschilds own it. The Rothschild family own it, all right?
con,
And look at all the places that they have it. They own. Trinidad have a central bank, right? That the land that I presently live in,
con,
right? Venezuela have a central bank, right? Which they have a lot of contentions going on right now, which Jacob Troubles starting that land, right? So the white man have a lot of ownerships in this land because the earth is given into the hand of the wicked as brother Abraham earlier on. No?
con,
Yeah.
con, con. That's beautiful. All right. Yeah. So it says throughout the 19th century, the Rothschilds were responsible for stabilizing the currencies of major world governments, a role now fulfilled by the International Monetary Fund.
Hmm.
While they provided important international service, they also profited heavily from it. At the height of their family's business empire, the Rothschilds' wealth would have been the largest single fortune in the world's history.
Can how it gonna be the largest world fortune? I can put on the preset because when you're going to the International Monetary Fund, right? That is the IMF, right? But I wouldn't tell it is the International Monetary Fund. But the International Monetary Fund is owned by the Rothschilds, right? And how they gaining wealthy off of it? Because they lending money to countries and expected interest back from it. All right. And if you work with all the precept in
Con,
Deuteronomy,
I got you. Oh yeah, that's right. This is Deuteronomy chapter 23, verse 19 to 20. It says, "Thou shalt not lend upon usury to thy brother, usury of money, usury of victuals, usury of anything that is lent upon usury. Unto a
Con,
stranger thou mayest lend upon usury, but unto thy brother thou shalt not lend upon usury, that Yahweh thy power may bless thee in all that thou settest thine hand to in the land whither thou goest to possess it." And technically, just before you speak,
Go ahead.
We're technically Esau's brother. So his
Khan,
law, even though he's a heathen, his law should apply to him. But Esau is
Khan,
against everything that's holy. They're unholy. They're profane, as it was said in Hebrews chapter 12 verse 16.
Khan, Khan. Hey, and as you see that right? Right now, Barbados, right? Barbados borrow money from the IMF and they have to pay back an interest. Recently, Trinidad borrowed money from the IMF and they have to pay. They had to pay back an interest when A and R Robinson was in power, right? The IMF say, hey, tax everything. You
Mm,
understand? They had no mercy. That's the reason why the scripture say in Isaiah 47, he said, the Most High say, I polluted my inheritance, and you show them no mercy, no favor unto the old nor unto the young.
Khan,
No, because these people is the devil, and these people will fulfill their word. Because hey, as David was saying in Psalm 17, right? These is the people. This is the Most High weapon. These devils is the Most High weapon to chastise Israel. You
Khan.
understand?
Because Esau's blessing was a sword.
God, yeah, and since we bring it up, we can bring on the
Khan,
precept. I go read the one in Psalms, and then I'll go to the one in Genesis 27, right?
Khan,
Um, this is Psalm 17, right? I read from verse 13. He said, Arise, O Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai, disappoint him, cast him down, deliver my sword from the wicked, which is thy sword.
Khan.
Go ahead, argue, expound.
I mean,
I read.
it's self-explanatory because in Genesis chapter 27, I can't remember the exact verse. Jacob supplanted Esau, and he got the blessing that Esau was supposed to get. But really, truly, Esau was never supposed to get that blessing because it was destined for Jacob to get it. You see, the
Come,
life is a story. Everything is a story. We're in a chapter right now, and in this
come,
chapter, Jacob took Esau's blessing, and Jacob will inherit the kingdom. Right, because it says
come,
in what Deuteronomy chapter not Deuteronomy, Daniel 7 verse 13, that his saints shall inherit the kingdom forever and ever. But right now, Esau in this kingdom they have their blessing, which is a sword. That's why there's chemtrails. That's why there's GMO. That's why they got the heart machine. That's why they got the atomic bomb. That's why they got all these weapons equipped to destroy Jacob and destroy the rest of the nations. But guess what? Yahweh is still gonna take them down.
come, come. That is just a perfect example, right? To always saying act. That's a
Come,
perfect example that the Most High want to show his power, just as he did in Egypt. You
come.
understand? The Most High show Pharaoh his power because Esau is a proud man
That's right.
and he hardened his heart.
Khan is right. That was yeah, like you said, Alex, to show his power. I roll back. Yeah.
Yeah, come. So he having this kingdom under oppression because he ruling this kingdom. That what the book of Proverbs say, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked are in authority, the people mourn it. And look at Israel today, they mourning. They don't even know they're mourning. You know? That's the reason why they are on all these drugs and all these other bullshit that Esau created, and taking this thing, this tablet, this pill, to get a sort of excitement, but really and truly in the spirit, they're weary. They break
Khan.
down because of the heavy oppression that they're facing in this kingdom presently.
Khan in Ecclesiastes said oppression make it a wise man mad,
Can't,
and a gift
uh,
destroyed the heart.
can't. He said, doing laughter, the heart is weary.
Khan, yeah, that's true.
No,
Yeah,
proverb.
because we laugh, we joke around, but this oppression still gets us at the end of the day.
Can't, can't. This is Genesis 27. I'll go straight to the point, right?
Khan.
I'll read verse 39. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, Behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, and of the dew of heaven from above, and by thy sword shalt thou live. No, by thy sword, Esau, you shall live. You
Khan.
understand? And that's what he living by, because as the brother was explaining earlier on, right? He have these atomic bombs, he have these all these high power rifle and machines, because that is your blessing. You inherit your blessing. But
Khan.
at the end of the day, when you want to read the verse, and shall serve thy brother,
Khan.
no,
That's right, because Esau, at the end of the day, that they're destined to serve us. Romans
Khan,
9:13 it says Jacob I love, but Esau have I hated.
Khan,
So
Khan,
that's his destiny, you know. And it
Khan,
was the movie is Final Destination.
Khan.
Con. So
Part
that
5?
yeah, that's Esau's final destination right there.
Khan,
So,
Khan.
back to the article.
Yeah,
All right. We read about the IMF already, right?
yeah. You say while they provide, you can read from, however, according to
Con.
some conspiracy.
All right, I got you out. It says, however, according to some conspiracy theorists, the Rothschilds, driven by the quest for money, have orchestrated the assassination of U.S. presidents and created every war since the 1800s to finance both sides and profit from each such conflicts. Some
Hmm.
even claim that the Rothschilds funded the operations of Nazi Germany and caused the Holocaust. There are there also have who claim that they were the true figure behind the creation of Israel. Since
Khan,
then, it is believed that the Rothschild family has remained at the top of the world's oligarchy system and maintains a powerful and determining influence on the U.S. Federal Reserve and the British financial system.
Khan. And if I may bring two precept, right?
Khan,
When you read, you say, however, according to some conspiracy theorists, the Rothschilds, driven by their quest for money, have orchestrated the assassination of U.S. president and created every war since the
hundreds.
1800 to
Khan,
finance both sides, which is correct because his sons, which he sent out to be the five bankers, right? They lend money to one country because they know they have investment in that country and they
hmm
don't want to lose their investment, so they lend money to that country to promote the war.
damn,
You know,
Agin. It really says when it says Esau is wiser than Daniel, that's really true.
Khan, hey, the Chaldeans now, the most I
Yeah,
call them the Chaldeans.
Khan piece for
You
them to
know,
get to the power they're in now, they had to use their knowledge. You know, knowledge to the
Khan,
left. But at the end of the
Khan,
day, Yahweh created good, He created evil. So what is from the left, what is from the right, it still from Yahweh.
Khan.
So
Yep.
when Esau's trying to overthrow God, they're just trying to overthrow themselves because how you gonna destroy the Creator that created you?
Khan.
All right, I think you had a scripture right,
Yeah. I just want to read the point and then I'll go on into precept. He say,
Khan.
and it reads, he said there are also those who claim that they were the true figure behind the creation of Israel and who claim it to be Israel today. All right, since the Holocaust, because we know the Holocaust was really Israelite was slaughtered. This so-called white man, it was a sickness they had. You
Khan.
know, it was a sickness they had. I can't remember the name of the sickness. It was scabies, right? But I know it was a sickness they had, and they were claiming to be Israel. And say, oh, um, was this German money mark? Hitler,
Hitler,
right?
Khan. Adolf
Hitler
Hitler.
gone. They were saying Hitler killed them out, but really and truly was Israel being killed out. You know, that was truly the Holocaust of Israel. You know,
Khan, that's right, Ak.
and that's what we're not to precept,
Yeah.
right? This is Revelations 2 and 9. He said, I know thy works. He said, I know thy works and tribulation and poverty, but thou art rich. How we rich? Israel rich one in the word, right? We rich in this word, and we know that the kingdom to come is going to be as a golden city, as the
Khan.
book of Tobit chapter 13 and the last two verses said. You understand? That city is going to be a city of gold built up. You understand?
Khan.
You know,
That's right, Ak.
um, I know thy works and tribulation and poverty, but thou art rich, and I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews and are not, but are the synagogues of Satan. All right? And this what these people is because as we know reading the article, there are also those who claim that they were the true figure behind the creation of Israel,
Khan.
which they are not. They are the synagogues of Satan. And I'll go to the next one time.
That's
This is
right.
Revelation. That's something to say. That's something to say. Go ahead.
I mean, yeah, I'm just agreeing, Ak, because the Jew there, when you look it up on the blue letter, it says Jewish, belonging to the Jewish nation, and Jewish, ish means pertaining to. Ish
Khan,
always means pertaining to. So how can you're not really a Jew if you're Jewish? Which
Khan,
Jew is really a byword because Jew means go back to Judah, which is Yahweh and means praise Yahweh, but that's what the Romans were calling us at the time because there was a lot of Jew basically meant Judah, Benjamin, or Levi.
Khan.
So I mean, these bastards they are not Israelites. They are not of us.
Con. Hey,
Yeah,
that yapper up because
con,
the so-called white man, right, only want to steal everybody' identity, but he don't want to claim his own.
con.
He don't want to claim his own.
Hmm.
So let's read this next precept.
He's a fraud, Ak.
Khan, hey,
Yeah,
he's a profane man, huh?
con,
He's a profane man.
con
You know,
is
he's
yeah.
subtle. In a sense, in the book of Genesis chapter 3, he's a subtle beast.
Hmm. Con, Ak.
This is Revelation chapter 3, verse 9. He said, Behold, I will make them of the synagogues of Satan, which say they are Jews and are not, but do lie. Behold, I will make them to come and worship before thy feet, and to know that I have loved thee. You
Yapa.
know, because this so-called white man, right? Because they're saying in the power seat which the Most High gave unto them, they're proud. You know, they're
Con
proud and
American pride.
God. And these people are these people, right? They're so proud and doing Israel wickedness. They feel that the Lord is not watching, right? They feel that the Lord is not going to execute judgment. You
Con,
understand? But in the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 8, verse 11, because sentence against an evil work is not executed speedily, therefore the heart of the sons of men is fully set in them to do evil.
con, Ak.
No? You go ahead and explain
Con.
that.
That's right because Esau, their whole purpose is to be evil. You know how he created good and he created evil. So Esau, that was born just to serve that purpose. It's also Psalms 58 verse 3, where it says Yahweh basically state that they love to lie. Esau,
God,
everything that Esau has is do lies and robbery. You know, this is
God,
basically what he's about. And like I said earlier, everything holy he's against. He's the opposite of it because you have the good character, you have the bad character. You have the antagonist, you have the protagonist, right? Because the antagonist is the person that's supposed to go against the protagonist, and he's a person that's supposed to he want to rule over the world, or he want to kill everybody, and then you have the protagonist to stop him, in his evil ways,
God,
like you got these cartoons. You might have Batman, you have Superman, but there's a similarity between that and the real world because the real world is black and white. You have good, you have evil, you know.
God. And if I could add one thing to what you're saying,
Con,
the true white people are the Hebrew Israelites.
mm,
Because white represents
purity,
purity to
con,
water. You know? And the real man of sin is Esau.
con. I
You
think there's a
understand?
scripture backed it up too. I think the scripture in Revelation says dressed in all white robes. I think
God,
because I think sulfur is white. Sulfur purifies. Sulfur from brimstone. You know, Sodom and
God,
Gomorrah was purified by that sulfur because it was a lot of wickedness going over there. And right now, America's Sodom and Gomorrah.
God, God,
Con, this is Revelation 19:11, and I saw heaven open, and behold, a white horse, and he that sat upon him was called faithful and true, and in righteousness he doth judge and make war. So the person that sat upon that horse is Yahweh Shai. Why is a
God,
white horse? Because like you said, Ak, white means purification.
God. And and if I may add one thing to what you're saying, the horse represents power.
Con,
No, that horse represent power. Bernardi was appointed everything, and the horse represent power. And what the Heavenly Father said in Psalms chapter 2, sit thou at my right hand, and I shall give thee the heathens for inheritance.
con, Ak,
No? And the Heavenly Father gave everything into Yahweh Shai hand.
con. All praise Yahweh Shai.
Shai, God. You are the flock.
All right. I guess you can read some more of the article, right?
God.
I might as well keep reading. Then when the Rockefeller family.
Alright, if you want to act.
Um, yeah, I got this. I don't know if you want to read the next one. Next one's a
Yeah,
Morgan family.
alright, God, I'll read more from you.
All right. So this is the Rockefeller family. In the 19th century, John Davidson Rockefeller effectively started to solidify his American empire after buying out several partners who owned Cleveland's largest oil refinery in 1865. Later on, this became the foundation for the formation of the Standard Oil Company of Ohio in 1870, and John D. Rockefeller established a large monopoly on the industry that controlled around 90% of America's pipelines and refineries. However,
Hmm.
some historians say that labeling Standard Oil as a monopoly is an understatement, downplaying the covert and savage tactics utilized by John Rockefeller to maintain its control over American oil. In 1911, the Rockefellers' monopolistic oil company was broken up under antitrust legislation, but the family continued to retain a large share of the business and continued to profit from it.
I
According
just want to ask
Kanan,
Salakia,
yeah, you got the
right?
floor.
When you say antitrust, when you look up the word anti means to be against.
Khan.
You know, Isaiah 19:2, right?
Mm,
This is what the Most High say. This is Isaiah, all right, chapter 19,
and two.
verse 2, right? I'll read. He say, and I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight every one against his brother, and every one against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom.
Khan.
So when you see that antitrust legislation, right, they start not trusting one another. You
Kanan.
understand? And the Most High put a spirit in them, according to Isaiah 19:2. He will set Egypt against Egypt, and he set Edom against Edom. And the scripture also say, can a kingdom stand, can a kingdom divide against itself, lest it fall?
Khan.
You know? And
That's
that's
right.
what we're going to do. Go ahead,
That's right because it's a dog eat dog world because um like the for whites to get into power, they will go against themselves just to get to that power because they have this concrete mindset, so they'll do anything to get where they have to get to.
can,
Because as there is poor black people, there's poor white people too.
can,
They got white vagrants. The ones that didn't really make it. They're still gonna go to slavery for what their forefathers have done, but
can,
it goes to show you just what Esau would do just to get to where they have to get to.
can,
Because yeah, there's some vagrants out there, like you see some white vagrants is actually faking because they probably got $1 million in the bank, but they out there looking like vagrants just to get an extra dollar. But
can,
there's still white vagrants out there that the top white people they don't care about them.
can.
You know,
Hey, if I may say one thing, that bring back to my memory day, right? This greatest hitman,
come
and it just make what you know this example
I'll bring it
with
out.
this is Daniel 11, right?
Yeah,
With Ptolemy and
you know,
Antiochus ark. It was
and
Ptolemy Sultan Antiochus.
Khan. That's right. There's a lot of names out there.
Khan,
There's different
yeah,
titles. It's called titles of nobility. But according to the Constitution, you can't use a title of nobility anymore. That's why you have like Donald Trump or Barack Obama, but they don't give themselves titles anymore. Like there's no more
Khan,
Ptolemy first, Ptolemy the second, Ptolemy the third, or Antiochus Epiphanes, Antiochus this and that. Because the
Khan,
titles and abilities was mainly for like kings. But the white man says this that they got rid of titles and ability because they don't make themselves look like they have all this
exposed.
power. But they really truly that's what they're really about because the presidents are just puppets, but Illuminati's behind everything.
Khan, the Rockefellers, these same fellas we reading about here, they the people who in charge of everything.
Right, exactly. These like my brother was saying the other day, Adam Weishaupt, the founder of Illuminati, he founded all of this. He's a damn
Khan,
devil too, but the white man been in power even before the Illuminatis. That's
Khan,
just always in their spirit. Well, maybe not before when we was in power, they were under us. But then
Khan,
Yahweh took us out of power, then they came into power.
Khan. Like in Revelation 20.
Con.
But we can continue reading the article because that will
Yeah.
go on to something else.
Alright, Con got you. I don't think we read about Bill Gates yet, so we're in 1911.
Khan,
In
the
19
Rockefeller.
Con. In 1911, the Rockefellers' monopolistic oil company was broken up and their actually we did read this. I stopped. Yeah. According to Forbes, at the time of John D. Rockefeller's death in 1937, his net worth amounted to as much as 340 billion in today's money, around four
Woo!
times more than that of Bill Gates. That's a lot of money.
Khan,
He's
that
Con.
that money, that money could feed the whole world.
Con. That could feed and clothe every living being on this planet.
God, huh?
And right here it says, since their financial prime in the early 20th century, the family's wealth has dwindled down to an estimated combined net worth of 11 billion. We know that ain't true. We know they sitting on a lot of money. Even if they're just sitting on 11 billion, that's still a lot of money.
God,
We're struggling to make hundreds a week. You know, you working 9 to 5, you working those hours, and you only get so much money.
God,
You might get like, say, 400 US by the end of the week. You know, especially out there in these Caribbean islands, that money it isn't really worth. It's not really worth much.
God.
You know, and Habakkuk it says, you make wages for a bag of hoes because you get
Haggai,
money.
Haggai, Haggai 1:6. I'll give you one
Con.
precept.
Now you don't have to read it, Og, but
Sorry.
just for an example,
Yeah,
you
Haggai 1:6.
con you get money and you gotta pay rent. You know, you gotta pay the light bill. You gotta pay the water bill. You gotta buy food for the house, especially if you have a family.
Con,
All right, let me continue. I got a lot to read too, so. All right. It says since their financial prime in the early 20th century, I read that already. It says nevertheless, the Rockefeller family is the subject of various conspiracy theories. They allegedly committed such atrocities acts as funding the invention of the Zika virus,
hmm.
funding patentable pharmaceutical medical model to crush natural medicine and cures, orchestrating the assassination of John F. Kennedy, and for being the hidden force behind the destruction of the World Trade Center during the 9/11 attacks.
God, that yapper up because you know why the America dollar was falling. The economy was about to collapse.
Con,
So when they crash the plane into the 9/11, that would do what? That would destroy all evidence.
con,
Because as the World Trade Center, that way everything was there. Everything, all the whole information was there. And this is show you how these devil wicked act. They invented Zika virus. They had a part
con.
to play in,
And I was
and
saying
I
in the works, Ak, not to cut you off, but
go
these
to
these, these diseases that just come out of nowhere, like chicken flu, Ebola, they created this shit.
God,
They created AIDS by Robert
God,
Gallo. That damn devil created AIDS. You can't go in the Bible and find AIDS. You're not gonna
God,
find that. You may find like natural plagues they how probably put to punish people, but you never find cancer. You never find AIDS because guess what? Cancer's man-made. Georgia Guidestones they want to lower the population. This is how they're lowering the population by pushing AIDS out there. I had a friend that
God,
died by AIDS. It was sad, man.
hmm,
But even though there's natural medicines like me, you was saying that earlier about the herbs. Yeah, how's natural herbs out there? But
God,
people don't want to take that. People don't want to take aloe. People don't want to change their diet. I have some friends out here. They don't want to do away with the sugar. Because sugar is the most deadly poison. That's the most deadly poison. You have products
hmm,
like tomato sauce. Sugar's in tomato sauce. It's in ketchup. Yeah, you don't drink soda, but guess what? You're still consuming it by eating ketchup. And
God,
you really can't get away sometimes. You love ketchup. You know, I mean, there's some people out here that could like. I don't want to stray off topic, but there's some people that could eat straight vegetables and fruits, but not some of us because some of us can't really afford to be healthy 100%. That's how this
God,
devil gets us because at the end of the day you still have to consume unabominable foods.
flour, the gluten in that flour.
Con exactly.
And even though you might buy a piece of chicken, this devil injecting pork in that chicken without you even knowing.
Right, and not that too odd, but in these restaurants, the same pot that was used to cook pork is the same pot using that's being used to cook chicken.
God,
And we're
God,
not supposed to touch a pig.
ooh,
You're not supposed to touch a pig. This is abominable. So at the end of the day, we still end up breaking the law somehow.
God. That's the reason why we gotta have faith in Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Because Yahweh Shai come there and step up there for us because these things we don't know, you know. We don't know because if we was living by the law, we would have been put to death a long time ago.
Con, Ak. We're not just
You
saved
know,
by the law, but also the just shall live by faith.
God, God, just as how Abraham believed.
That's right.
Abraham had that faith. You
And
know,
guess then the Ten Commandments was even really established at the time. He had it in his heart.
God, this
That's
is
that
in
breath of
Hebrews,
life that was breathed into Adam. Con, Ak.
God, in Hebrews 8. With the Most I say, you go put the law statutes in our hearts.
That's right. The new covenant.
God, um,
And we really need that too. We really, really
yeah,
need that.
For real, because hey, this flesh weary in this kingdom,
Con, the spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak.
Come. I wanted to bring out a precept.
I'll continue the
Right?
article when you're finished.
Yeah, come, because you was talking about this man invented, AIDS and Zika and all these other viruses, leveling all these chemicals in the sky day in, day out.
Con,
This devil, trying to lower the population to gain more, so he ain't gotta spend all the money,
con,
because when he getting you sick, that is money you want to spend. He invented this so-called virus called cancer. You gotta go and do chemotherapy. He gonna make
right.
money off of you,
Damn,
you know?
that's. I mean, that's a great observation. That's how they make money off these pills.
Gone,
And these pills got these symptoms, and from those symptoms, you gotta take a pill for those symptoms, and then you gotta keep getting more pills and more pills and more pills.
and
And
more
they're
things.
making money off abortion too. Abortion, that's against the scriptures. Because Yahweh
Gone,
said, "Be fruitful and multiply." So how you gonna do abortion? How you gonna do that? How you gonna take
gone,
birth control? You never take birth control. You must be fruitful and multiply.
gone.
And I got a cousin. She put on her Instagram story about, oh yeah, y'all sure y'all want to get pregnant? Why y'all want to get pregnant? What you mean? You have to get pregnant. That's your duty.
Hey,
What it says in
relax,
Genesis 3:16 about the woman about sorrow and conception.
gone.
But I think you got a scripture. I don't want to
No, I just
lose
want
the
to add
order.
something what you were saying, because back in the ancient times, right, when
Yeah,
a woman of Israel didn't have a child, it was a disgrace.
con.
It was a disgrace if she didn't have a
That's
child.
right.
But no, that's the reason why Psalm
Con.
82, Psalm 82 say the whole world walketh in darkness. They're out of course because everything is back to front.
Con. In Genesis 25, what it said, Rebecca inquired, no, Isaac inquired of Yahweh because Rebecca was barren.
Baron,
Barren
can,
means she couldn't have any children. So,
can,
like you said, that's a bad thing.
can,
Not having a
can.
beard is a bad thing because that takes away your manlyhood. But in these days, you have a beard, they'll say, "Oh, cut that off. It don't look right." All right, out there
Um,
they'll call you Bushman, right, Ock?
can. Yeah, all kind of thing, but you see, they don't know that a beard is a badge of honor.
Con,
I wanted to say one thing too
yeah.
with Rebecca and Sarah. You understand? Sarah was barren. No, Rebecca.
It was
No,
Rebecca or I believe it was Rebecca, right?
Rebecca. No, Rebecca made the first son for Jacob. Ak.
Yeah, it was Rebecca. Rebecca 25 and 21, and Isaac treated Yahweh for his wife because she was barren, and Yahweh wasn't treated of him, and Rebecca his wife conceived.
Khan.
So she bare Jacob and Esau.
Khan. Hey, Salakia is
Con.
Rachel and Leah. Ak. Rachel
Oh,
and Leah.
Rachel and Leah.
Salakia.
Con.
Because Rachel, right? Rachel was barren.
Con.
Who bare Benjamin and Joseph. Understand? And she cried unto the Most High, and she gave Jacob her a midwife, right, to be the concubines to bear children for Jacob. Understand? And she cried unto the Lord because she was like, "You gave him a sister Sarah, Leah, and you ain't giving me." But then the Most High gave her Joseph, and then he gave her Benjamin, and then she passed away.
Mm,
You know,
that's right,
because
Ak.
I just want to bring out that little point.
Yeah.
But this scripture I wanted to bring out, right, is on this devil because the scripture say, right, this is Habakkuk, right? Habakkuk chapter 2, verse
Uh huh.
5. I just really want to get to the point. Yea, also because he transgressed by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home. He enlargeth his desire as hell, and is as death, because he's the man that created all these sicknesses, you know. And so Yasha Allen love this so-called white man.
Yeah,
And
I know,
this man
right?
is dead. Romans 3 15.
Yeah,
Death and misery was in his part. No,
that's right. Because he's hell himself.
can
If he's a representation of evil.
can
Yeah. So back to the article. I don't know if you had
yeah,
any more
yeah.
scripture.
Nah, you good you are.
All right. Okay. All right. It says we read about 9/11 text, right? Right.
Yeah, we will one prevailing conspiracy theory about the
So you want
Rockefeller
me to read
family.
that? All
Yeah, I can
right.
read it. I can read it, Morgan.
Okay. Yeah, I got you out. This is one prevailing conspiracy theory about the Rockefeller family is their association with the idea of a secret global government called the New World Order, which goes back to the Georgia Guidestones. Goes hand in hand with that. They have been accused of establishing institutions such as the Trilateral Commission and the Bilderberger Group, among other organizations, to advance their interests nationally and globally.
Ah, so as the brother now mentioned, the book he now mentioned there, which is a beautiful book. You
Kana,
understand? Because that book have a lot of information with this devil going and push, and this is what he pushing for. He pushing for the RFID chip because I was looking at a video, right, talking about with the IMF, right, who own the IMF, the Rothschilds, and this is what I was saying in the video is a 50-50 chance that the dollar it will be a cashless society and it will eventually be a mandatory monetary system that they'll have to take the RFID chip, you know.
in order to buy or sell.
Can you have Karagma,
Kana, that's right.
you know? So if you have anything to say, I could go through or
I
let's
mean,
continue.
we can continue, but the RFID chip is slowly being brought in by these devices like the iPhone XR, smartphones,
Can,
GPS. So when the RFID chip comes into play, everybody be used to these kind of devices. I mean, they got
can,
the cars with autopilot now. You don't even have to drive it; it's driving for you.
hmm.
That's yo, that's mind blowing.
Yeah, can,
I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure when you was younger, you never thought times like this would come, where a car would drive by itself.
self, yeah, for real,
Yeah,
for real. Hey,
or
that,
or faggots too.
hey, that is a wicked thing,
Come on. I never thought that a man wore pink, that day will come. I mean, it really and truly, pink is just a color, but I kind of use it as like a metaphor because pink
can,
is seen as a effeminate color. So,
can,
man, it got these feminine tendencies, which
can,
effeminate basically means like faggot. You look it up in the concordance, the Strong's concordance. Yeah, you got the next paragraph if you want.
yeah, can, all right. So this is the Morgan family, right? Toward the entry, on in point, Morgan established the J.P. Morgan and Salaki and Company, a financial company that has played a prominent role in the economic history of the United States and therefore the world as well. Picnic swept the nation back in 1893 partly because the flow of the country's surplus gold to foreign nations put the U.S. Slovakia,
Yeah,
economic
kind of
economy
economy. Yeah,
economy in danger. Following his father's footsteps is the backing industry Morgan seized the opportunity to save the economy by restoring the confidence in the dollar and
rescuing.
rescuing the gold standard.
Con.
So you see the subtlety these devils use, Ark? When they realized they was falling, right? Because at the goal, right? They say, yeah, what you seen? Let me put the gold in a treasury and we go use the money,
Mm.
understand, as the security.
Con. They labeled those paper dollars as IOU notes.
Gone, gone. Which really is monopoly money, which really is of
Really,
no
truly,
value.
it is because yeah, just paper.
Gone, gone.
These
Because they really bring that out, right, to match the amount of gold they have. So the money would have value the amount of gold they have,
Connacht,
which they take advantage of. They went on and print excessively. This devil
right? And they're still printing to this day.
can
That's why some of these countries don't want to do with the dollar anymore because the dollar ain't worth nothing.
can can
But
yeah.
this
So
this damn devil owning all the gold supply though. He got all the gold.
yeah, but he gotta only go one place for we to come and take it.
That's right. That's right. Connacht. That's true.
Oh,
That's true.
see,
You think about it, a bank. A bank that gets robbed was really gathering all that money just for somebody to rob it.
Um,
Yeah,
um, Following his father's footsteps in banking industry, Morgan seized the opportunity to save the economy by restoring the confidence in the dollar and rescuing the gold standard. To do this, Morgan led a syndicate of bankers, which include the Rothschilds, to use
to the U.S.
Slovakia
Con,
to see U.S. bonds to buy assets. According to some people, that gold and bond exchange allowed Morgan to control the U.S. gold supply. Hey,
con,
so you see how he used another powerhouse to gain power
con.
because he went to the Rothschilds and the Rothschilds were the first on the top of the list that we read,
Yeah,
which is still give him the flexibility to finance the creation of U.S. steel and gain control of the emerging emerging electronic light industry by forming General Electronic. Morgan accomplished Morgan accomplished
these feats. Yeah,
these feats by employing un,
unethical.
un, unethical and cutthroat business practices, hey, which is really scamming other people.
Con, Ak. Yeah, I was about to say this. I was gonna say the same thing.
Hey,
The white man's smart with
spirit.
that too, because I was seeing this in the works. I'm not gonna go too far into it, but this thing called the Panama Canal, right? They built this Panama Canal, and Americans took the Panama Canal by force. They was originally going to negotiate with Panama, but they really wanted it so bad that they found a way to get the Panama Canal. And 20 years
Hmm.
later, that they already had it, they're going to tell Panama that they'll sell it to them back. It was theirs from the first place. How you going to sell it to them? It
See how
was it was
wicked these
theirs.
people is?
Exactly. You can't just take that by force. They want the oil. They want people's land. They want everything. By the time you
Hmm.
have, and guess what? Donald Trump is building the Space Force. What the hell is the Space Force for? You
Um,
know, so if guess what? If you have weapons in space, Russia has weapons, China has weapons, but you have weapons in space. That gives you the upper hand. That gives you the power.
um,
You know, that gives you the upper ground. But guess what? When empires used to fight against each other, the empire that had the upper ground would usually win because you have that height
um,
advantage. Why do you think the white man loves heights? They want
hmm.
they like these big tall buildings like the World Trade Center. You know, so
Um,
they could see everything. They could see the nations. In Matthew chapter 4, Satan he took Yahushua into a high mountain, and he was like, all this could be yours because they like to be above everybody. You know,
um, um. I have a precept for you too, right?
and yeah, just before you speak, if
There is a to
Donald Trump has a space force, he could and they have cities on different planets. They controlling everything. You controlling the solar system too. They
hmm.
could show you how the white man thinks. There you go, Adok.
I just wanted to back you up. So like
Yeah.
if I interrupt you that.
No, no.
This is
I said what I had to say.
this is Obadiah chapter 1 verse 4 because you talk about how the so-called white man like to go up high. He like
Con.
to be up high. You
Con.
see, though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and though thou set thy nest among the stars, thence will I bring thee down, said Yahweh Hashem Yahushai.
Con. Yeah, I was gonna bring
As
you
in,
down either way because yeah, you go into space, but guess what? Yahweh controls all of that. He created the
come,
space. He created the solar system. He created the multiverse. So you can conquer all you want, but at the end of the day, he's in a different dimension. He controls all of that.
come,
You know?
yep. And to add to that, Esau is fulfilling prophecy because it must have that fight in heaven with Michael the Archangel, you
Con.
know, because it must have that fight according to the book of Revelation. It must have that fight. Esau going to try to stop prophecy. But you can't stop Yahweh Hashem Shai. He's the creator of all things. He created you also. He know your thoughts. He know your mind. He know your ways. He know your move. Because he gave that unto you.
Conok.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah, just the go ahead and after that I will.
Yeah, that's basically it. Until we read more, you know? Spirit will bring more things up.
Come. According to some people, that gold and bond exchange and Lord Morgan to control the U.S. will supply, right?
You read that, Ak. I think you were on the part when it says after unethical and cutthroat business practices.
All right, come.
See, which says in which involved
Yeah,
elimination.
which act,
Yeah,
all right, which involved the elimination of competition, slashing jobs and reducing wages, and neglecting workplace safety. A greedy process which became known as Morganization.
con.
You know,
And
and
look at this,
when
Ak.
it
Look at this little chart they got here. You know, I
can,
guess it shows the value. It says you have small businesses, real estate. There's diamonds. Then there's OTC stocks, commodities, MUNI bonds, corporate bonds, listed stocks, government bonds, treasury bills, Federal Reserve notes, which is the paper dollar. Then you have
can,
gold. The gold is the most valuable.
can, green, see green,
Yeah, I see it.
healthy,
Con,
healthy. And when they really go into the word more organization, right? They say a greedy process which become as more organization, more go back to what? More treat, put you in debt.
con,
You understand? No, that more organization is to put these other people in debt and fulfill their will and their desire.
con, Ak.
You know? So
They
reading
selfish. Everything is for them.
on, on, on. Reading on, there are also those who believe that America entered World War One not for political and policy concerns, but for the profits of the banking and
Munitions.
munition industries. Apparently, U.S. bankers, including Morgans, lent over 100 times as much money to allied countries that they had to their adversaries to protect those loans, and their interests finance like Morgan ungripped the Wilson administration to add their allies by
Participating.
participating in the war.
Con.
And earlier on, if I may just say before you go on, right? Earlier
Yeah.
on, we were talking about the IMF,
Yeah.
right? And what the IMF does do, lend money, right?
Con, exactly.
So what these people are doing is protecting the world, the money, the investors.
Con, Ak.
They go ahead,
I couldn't explain any better. I mean, I wasn't really gonna say anything, you know.
Khan, Khan.
You got the mic right now, Ak.
Yeah, so this is what these people doing. They lend money to all the nations to war so they could gain profit off it. Even if it take 100 years to pay, their children will inherit it. You know,
Damn.
they leave the wealth for the children, according to Psalm 17 and the last verse. They leave the wealth for the children. You know,
Yeah, that's right. And all the children that they have they're gonna be brought straight into slavery. You know.
um,
Imagine that, just being raised straight into slavery. We went through it for years, and we're still going through it.
um, um, which is a fact.
Yeah.
All right. Um, reading on. At present, rumors suggest a far too comfortable relationship between what is now the leading global financial service firm, JP Morgan, Case and Co. and the
Chasing.
company,
Yeah.
Case and Company, and the U.S. Federal Reserve. There is even a theory that a tunnel exists connecting the two gold vaults, which I strongly believe, you know,
Con.
of the New York Fed and JPM, and a legislation that Morgan family is heavily involved with war profiteering.
Con. That's right, because all of the money that the Federal Reserve make is going straight to this family, which is called the Morgan family.
Um,
So they're profiting from that money right there.
um, um, which is big interest because when they spend money for war, a lot of these countries need to spend money on these equipments which need oil to move,
Con.
So
So
hey,
on
they want
Japan, they was gonna have the electronic cars. That's why they how to say it? They turn on that heart machine and they put that tsunami in Japan because they want Japan to succeed. So
Con, huh?
anytime another nation succeeds or is like becoming a major power, they try to shut that down immediately.
Con.
And
Yeah,
when
because
that's why they assassinated John F. Kennedy because he wasn't on their terms. And the same thing with Paul Walker because Paul Walker he helped those people in Haiti. They ain't like
Con,
that, so that's why Paul Walker is dead right now.
Con. What about Gaddafi, huh?
Con, yeah, that too.
Yeah, because Gaddafi had his own currency, and he was using the gold as a currency. And they were like, hey, this man can come here
Yeah,
to feel like,
yeah,
you want to take all this man.
right, exactly.
So I reading on the Pont family.
Con, I believe they killed Martin Luther King too. March on
Con,
Washington. I'm pretty sure they killed him. Usually when they say that it's confidential, they don't know who did it because come on, all the detectives that you have, you really don't know who did it. John F. Kennedy, the president, it can't be that clean. It really can't be that clean.
con,
Tupac, Biggie Smalls, even if they have found the killer, they probably framed somebody, but they're really the ones that was behind it.
con,
And maybe these guys were paid off by Illuminati. Who knows? They probably didn't even go to prison. They probably got paid off, and
con,
they probably in a different country. You know.
con,
And don't forget
con.
about the clones theory too.
Way for real,
Yeah,
Wow, wow. Esau really worries it in Esau is really the Chaldeans,
yeah, con,
Now the most that they say sit down on the ground with daughter of the Chaldean because there is no tune for thee.
con.
Hey, Esau had a pay,
They really do, and it's gonna happen soon too.
Can Aburat Zion, the Father come and bring judgment on this devil.
Con,
This is
DuPont,
the
con,
DuPont family. The DuPont family is an
con.
American.
You read DuPont. I got the Bush family.
Alright, Con.
All right.
The DuPont family is an American family descent from Pierre Samuel DuPont de Namoros,
Mhm.
and has been one of the richest families in the country. Pierre Samuel Dupont de Nemours was a French economist who emerged from France in 1800 to the United States with his son Victor Marie Dupont and Eladar
Yeah, you might.
Irene
Yeah, that's a hard word.
Jean Dupont. Eldar
E-
El
Eladier Irene, probably.
Khan Eldier Irene Dupont entirety
Initially,
established
yeah, initially.
can initially establish EI DuPont Dynamos and Company, commonly referred to as DuPont, as a gunpowder manufacturer.
Huh.
Ooh. Huh. Hey, these people give us really the sword.
Gone.
Hmm. Which
Gunpowder.
eventually gone,
That's definitely this water right there.
gone, which eventually became a chemical empire responsible for
I think
ubiquitous
ubiquitous.
inventions such as nylon,
Teflon.
Teflon,
Con. And
and
Kevlar.
Kevlar, and many other polymers.
Con.
Polymers.
Probably polymers, but just think about it, Ak. All the guns in the black community, where is it coming from?
So,
That's right.
hmm,
And another way to lower the population because we multiply a lot. That's why in
hey,
Exodus they went it was killing the black babies, the black male babies, so we wouldn't
so
populate.
Exodus chapter 4.
Con.
Yesterday I was reading that, you know,
But we were still multiplying exponentially
because
or rapidly, you know.
because even in oppression, jigs multiply more.
Con, exactly.
In oppression, jigs multiply more. Salaki is Exodus chapter 3, you know, because in
Or is
jigs,
it one? Is it one?
there's no ark. 1 minute.
Conok.
Because when the Most High speak to the maidens, right? The maidens fear the Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, you know, and Just now I have it highlighted on my
I
phone.
think I can bring it out too.
Alright, come.
You talking about when
Let me see.
Exodus
On the
1
more,
verse 12 about the about us multiplying, right?
come. 91 verse 12.
Yeah, that's one of the scriptures. It says, I'll read it.
Come. The more they afflict them, can. That is it. That.
But the more they afflicted them, the more they multiplied and grew, and they were grieved because of the children of Israel. And the
Hmm.
Egyptians made the children of Israel to serve with rigor, which means harshness.
Come.
Yes, that's the only point I want to bring out from that.
Because if you look at today, there is more Jakes than Esau
Yeah, that's
because
true.
there are a lot of confusion of faces,
Mhm.
and that is just the whole point because Jake's in oppression as the more they multiplying because the only families, right, you will see 15 and 16 children is in a household of Jake. 4, 5, 6 children is in a household of Jake. Esau only
Karnak.
what one child and Esau good.
Yeah, a lot of these white folks like to adopt blacks too, black
Um,
children. But
um,
these white men are perverts too, though, because they like to molest little children. A lot. Like I said, Esau's profane, so there's a lot of pedophiles out there.
hey, that devil,
Karnak. When this is Job 3 verse 3, when they would cast lots for children, they give a boy for a harlot. Um,
um, that yeah, precept
Khan,
and a school a girl for wine.
that's right.
Hmm. These devils are the pay, you know.
Khan, I really do.
All right. So if you're in SSA, let's go back to the article.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good.
All right. It's bop, bop, bop. Right. See, the pond also played a significant role in the development of the Manhattan Project and the production of the first atomic bomb during the Second World War.
There they go
Hmm.
with their sword right there
Uh, and who the job that bomb on? Was small boy and big boy. Who the job that bomb on?
in Japan.
Gone,
Hiroshima.
gone, gone. Design, building, and designing, building, and operating the Hanford
Plutonium.
Philip plutonium producing plant in Washington. The point also reportedly produced as much as 4.5 billion pounds of military explosive used over the course of that war. That in 1950, DuPont agreed to build the Savannah River plant in South Carolina in,
Khan.
in cooperation with effect to create a hydrogen bomb.
Khan. So he was so persistent. He was so determined to create this bomb.
Hmm.
And from that bomb, he got rich. From
God.
explosives, from weapons. What it said earlier. Let me scroll up. A Kelvar, a Cal. Wait, hold on.
What Teflon and Caliver
Yeah, my
and
internet,
poly.
Satan's attacking my laptop right now, so I can't really move up.
I can't. Big
Yeah,
seat and maybe I'm not sure.
Karnak.
Then from one to the next, first is you, first is me, then is you.
Yeah, Karnak. Oh, you want me to go ahead and read Bush family?
I don't finish all this one.
Oh, okay, Khan.
The rumor still the last paragraph. Rumor still calculated about DuPont's involvement in the prohibition of hemp and cannabis in hemp and cannabis in 1937 to protest its breakthrough application for nylon. It's well basically just ain't saying really much.
Yeah,
They could go on to the Bush family because the point we get, that just show these devil and if you look at these all these images that you see on the screen presently, it's only Edomites.
Karnak. Only straight devils.
Khan,
So Bush family, right?
Khan,
All right, so this is the last family they have in this article, the Bush family. The Bush family is considered as among the newest families to join the world elite. It began their legacy with Prescott Sheldon Bush, a U.S. banker and senator who was accused of obscenely profiting from the Second World War and for establishing businesses with large corporations that financed Adolf Hitler's government. And was you
Hmm.
talking about Adolf Hitler?
Um,
You was talking
he
about him
was
earlier, right?
Khan. Yeah, it's really Israelites they were persecuting during the Holocaust.
Con.
You know,
This is
and I was
yeah,
going to add one thing to what you're saying, right? If you
yeah.
look at something, each one of these families connect to one another. In some way or the other, these five families that we speak of, they connecting to one another.
Con and how they made their money too.
Khan, Khan.
Mm.
Right.
It says documents declassified in 2003 revealed that Yale University Skull and Bones Society member Prescott Sheldon Bush, father of the U.S. President Government H.W. Bush and grandfather of President George W. Bush, could have been prosecuted for providing aid and comfort to the country's enemy by engaging in nefarious business dealings prior, during, and after World War II. And like how you said, it's all connected. World War One, World War II, a lot of them profited from these wars.
Khan.
As reported by The Guardian back in 2004, the National Archives document shows that even after America had entered the war, and when there was already significant information about Nazis' plans and policies, Prescott Bush worked for and profited from companies closely involved with the very German businesses that financed Hitler's rise to power.
Hmm.
Prescott's descendants have not escaped scrutiny as well, having been accused of utilizing their power during their stint as the commander in chief of the United States to profit from the wars the country participated in. Conspiracy theorists even went so far to claim that George W. Bush knew of the 9/11 World Trade Center attacks and used it to
Ooh.
justify a primitive attack on a nation that has not attacked the United States in the name of a much broader war against terrorism.
Hey, you see all these devils, huh?
Yeah, he knew all about it. But
Khan.
they ain't gonna tell you that though, because it was like that documentary you watched a while back, about the Heart Machine.
Khan.
There was interviewing these devils about the Heart Machine. It was asking they controlling the weather, and they just bluntly said no. I mean,
Khan.
they ain't gonna tell you what they're doing.
No, this man is a liar. You know. What do you say? The I'm
Psalms
gonna
fifty eight
go that
three
precept, Psalm 58.
verse 3, right?
Khan. No, the wicked
Oh,
eyes stream from
speaking
the
of,
sea.
before you read that, this scripture I want to read earlier. This is
Go
Psalms
ahead.
55 verse 21. This is about the wars that they profited from. It says, the words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words are
Khan.
softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords. So Esau, they come, they sound all innocent, but deep down inside, they got war in their heart. They want to kill you. They want to slice your throat.
Khan. 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 Yep. You know, and there was no saying that when they was asked about the interview of the Hap machine, they shoot or come and light it, just as how Bush know about the 9/11, and these other families that we read about earlier on know about the 9/11. This is Psalm 58 verse 3.
Khan.
The wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born speaking loud.
That's right, Ak.
You know? Where
Yeah, so, I mean, as soon as they come at their womb, their purpose is set, and they do what they got to do by lying to us, lying to the
Khan.
people. I mean, these pastors are the 501c3 charter to preach what Jesus, even though Esau knows that his true name is Yahweh Yahweh Shai, but they don't want the people knowing that. That's like put
Khan.
fluoride in the world, making our people docile. Because
Khan.
fluoride was really originally a weapon to keep the opponents and the enemies docile state of mind.
Khan. Hmm. Hey, this devil,
Khan,
Even to add to that, he given them isodane sword.
Khan, that's
Oh,
you, ah.
hmm. This place had a go.
Yeah, like you really can't fix this world. You just gotta wipe it away and build another one.
Done, done. Hey, this is a lesson for Israel too. So when we are with our kingdom, we will never in our mind even think about going off,
Khan, that's right, ah.
because the Most High teaching us a lesson,
Khan,
to appreciate the righteousness.
yeah, that's true, ah. Right now we're going through our hell now, but in Kingdom, you know, we're gonna remember what we had to go through to get here.
Done, done,
All
done,
right. I'm gonna finish these two paragraphs here. It
done.
says, too many conspiracy theorists. These five powerful families are the puppet masters that hold the strings. See, the puppet masters. Donald Trump is a puppet that holds the strings of the highest echelons of society. With their immense wealth, unlimited resources, and far-reaching influence, these families have been rumored to have occult satanic connections, a secret network in the gold trade, a mysterious and not so well and intentioned agenda, and a secret plan to establish a new world order.
Woo!
Whether these accusations indeed have a grain of truth in them or not have yet to be either summarily proven or duly debunked. Nevertheless, it cannot be denied that there is a clear socio-economic disparity that places a great divide between the citizens of the world, and an overall political and economic climate that favors the wants of the select few over the needs of the many. Yapa.
Yeah, okay. Hey, you hear what they say? Act a new world order. These five families were pushing for a new world order.
Khan.
You
Oh,
know?
look at his comment. It's by I can't read his name. It says one comment on the article says, on the list you forgot to mention the richest and wealthiest man by name Sir Etienne Essegian that worth 989 billion pounds.
Hmm.
That's a lot of money.
Wow.
989 billion pounds. Even whatever it's fake or not, still that's a lot of money.
Ton, ton. Pounds worth more than US.
Exactly. Euro worse than US dollar.
Ton.
Imagine just sitting on that money. You wouldn't know what to do with it
Huh.
because you can do more than invest. You have $1 million right now. With $1 million, you invest that money. You
Ton.
probably start a restaurant, and that restaurant will make you more money. From that money, you start another restaurant. That's investing. But with
Ton.
989 billion, you generations is set,
Ton, huh? For
and
real.
and they own us too with all that money.
True. Because they right now they have the power to feed us.
Con,
Which you must give them the authority too, you know.
con, that's right.
But
You
that
said,
is the why.
and Ezekiel, I bring it out. I think I was supposed to bring this out earlier, but I didn't get a chance. Um, Ezekiel 4. Hold on.
After they finish, I won't fail after they finish too.
Con, Ezekiel 4:13. Yahweh said, even thus shall the children of Israel eat their defiled bread among the Gentiles, whither I will drive them. So we're eating defiled bread among Esau right now. He's pushing out these deadly foods, and that's what we're eating right now. The disgusting water in the pipeline. We buy
Hmm.
these. Even these water bottles are not good because it has these plastic bottles has BPA. That
Con.
BPA increases let's say the estrogen levels in a man's body. For women, it
Hmm.
does the opposite effect. It increases the testosterone, which it could promote gays. It can promote lesbians because women become dykes.
Con. And the obvious saying, right? To a lot of these bodybuilders and giving them estrogen, which is part of
Exactly.
the woman hormones. And that's the
Her
reason why
autonomy. Yeah,
that's the reason why a lot of these so called gymnasts and them is becoming faggots. You
that's
know?
right.
And a lot of these
It
women,
promotes unholiness.
God, and these proteins too, that is what having it. You know, they have high testosterone,
I didn't
you
even know
know.
that, Huh?
So that's the reason why some of these men, right? Some of these men, you know, the breast big.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
man not supposed to
Got
have
man
a very
boobs.
chest, you know. But yeah, this place wicked, you know. But
Yeah.
the scripture wants to bring no fear, right?
Con.
This is Psalms 37, verse 35. You see, and it reads, I have seen the wicked in great power, and spreading himself like a green bay tree.
Hmm.
Yet he passed away, and lo, he was not. Yea, I sought him, but he could not be found. No. So, hey, Esau going to be wiped away forever.
Con.
Understand? He going to be wiped away forever. And if I could just jump the verse down real quick, Baba Kosha.
Psalm
You see,
37, right?
Khan,
Alright, I'm there, yeah.
He said, Psalm 37, verse 10, he said, For yet a little while, and the wicked shall not be. Yea, thou shalt diligently consider his place, and it shall not be found. You
Wow.
understand?
But in 11 it says, but the meek shall inherit the earth and shall delight themselves in the abundance of peace. And
Come,
Israel is the meek right now. We're
come,
going to inherit the earth, not these damn devils.
come.
You know, because their pride is what's going to get them destroyed.
Proverbs 16, pride before pride good before great fall.
Kind of.
You
I
know,
mean, and that's basically it for a lesson, you know. So,
that you want to
kind
give all praises, honor, and glory
to
unto Yahweh,
Yahweh, but Hashem,
Bahashem, Yahushai,
kind,
Bahashem, Rakah, Kodash.
Kwadash,
That was unto the apostles and others of great millstone who do rule well. All right. We hope this lesson was edifying to the Akim. You know, peace and blessing to the elect men of Israel. This is Brother Kwana and Brother Ip here
kind,
to do a video. You know, hope it was enticing unto you, Akim. With that,
kind,
we say shalom.
Shalom, Brakatah.